Hi, I'm Vianca, and I will be analyzing the book through the discipline of philosophy, which is the study of knowledge, specifically in relation to morality and how to live a good life. In Wonder, we see this play out by asking questions such as, what is justice? How should we treat others? And does being different change those standards?
Hi, I'm Monica Eichel. Today we'll be discussing the book Wonder, written by R.J. Palacio. Wonder shows that exclusion is not only an individual problem, but a social, English, philosophical, and political one.
Hello, I'm Julius Stevens, and the discipline I will be focusing on is sociology, which is the study of group dynamics and how institutions itself shape human behavior.
And altogether, we will be discussing how political scientists, which is the study of power, would view different scenes in this book as well. Without further ado, let's begin.
In our first scene that we will analyze, Augie, with help from his mother, participates in a tour of his new elementary school, Beecher Prep, led by Mr. Tushman. In the principal's office, the group is met by Julian, Jack, and Charlotte, other 5th graders. Here, we get to see Augie interact for the first time with students from his school, because he was homeschooled originally. This scene is a great introduction to see how others view Augie who are not of close proximity.
This scene is an introduction to each student's morals. Each character, Jack, Will, Julian, and Charlotte, treats the question of if it is just to treat those perceived as different in a different way than we treat everyone else. Jack Will seems to recognize that there should be no difference, even though most people don't believe this. Charlotte represents the median, in which she doesn't know how to handle the situation and struggles to treat Augie as anything but different. Finally, Julian is the example of a failure of morality, treating August as something foreign to him. We would recognize this in accordance with past philosophers, such as Plato and Aristotle, definitions of morality, which is balance and harmony in the soul, and this is reached through justice and virtues.
Through the literary analysis lens, the scene is packed full of specific literary tools. Palacio utilizes description, body language, and points of view to create a clear picture of the scene. Augie is described as noticing forced smiles, people looking down quickly, and Julian moving away. Palacio also includes the inner thoughts of each character, which invites the reader inside his true experience, such as him stating his bangs help block out the things I don't want to see. His feelings of awkwardness and insecurity can be better understood through this literary tool. The scene also shows how language can truly harm, such as Julian's question, "What's the deal with your face?" which reduces Augie to his appearance and less of a person. Palacio also gives a good contrast with Jack, Will, and Charlotte's nonverbal communication. This helps the reader see the difference between different types of exclusion.
Through a sociological lens, the main theme that sticks out to me is power dynamics. During the introduction of the students to Augie, the principal was present, as well as Augie's mother. Due to the room including people with power who can hash out disciplinary actions, the kids were on their best behavior to prevent getting in trouble. Additionally, all the kids shared the same emotion and tone. However, when they left for the tour and there was no adults present, their true colors were showing. For example, Jack has a crush on Charlotte, and since Charlotte was trying to show extra attention to Augie, he kept interrupting, either by asking Augie about what happened to his face or nagging Julian. Through a political science lens, we can view this scene through authority and power. Mr. Tushman is the only real person who has authority in this scene, which means he also has power over the other children. However, when Mr. Tushman leaves, there is a power vacuum, and all the kids can grab as much power as they want. Julian tries to grab the most, while Jack and Charlotte grab a medium amount. However, Augie does not grab much at all. Therefore, the other kids have more power and influence over Augie. In this scene, the students of Beecher Prep go on their annual retreat. Julian decides not to go on this trip, which makes Augie hopeful that the trip might go well. Towards the end of their trip, the class goes to a place where they can watch a movie with students from other schools. During this movie, August and Jack Will venture into the woods, where things quickly go wrong. They are approached by a group of 7th graders who go from a different school, led by Eddie. Upon seeing Augie, they begin to pick on the two boys. While this is going on, Julian's friends, Amos, Miles, and Henry, come to defend them. A fight begins, and all the boys end up running back to the main field.
In the nature retreat, the morals of the students begin to shift. With Julian removed from the situation, the other students don't feel pressured to conform with the injustice of treating August differently. The beginning of this shift is when Amos, Henry, and Miles decide to defend Jack, Will, and August against the students from another school. Afterwards, the three boys begin to treat August the same as everyone else, and soon the rest of the school is too. They've realized that just because society may perceive someone as different doesn't mean that they are not equal to everyone else and should be treated differently.
Earlier in the book, school spaces often feel socially tense, awkward, and too bright for Augie. During the retreat, Palacio uses even darker and more dramatic language to symbolize the mindset he's currently in. The chapter titles like Voices in the Dark and Emperor's Guard set the tone before the reader even starts. The darkness strips away the usual social performance of school and reveals who people are during fear. This is also the scene where Augie stops being seen as just different, but also as someone worth defending. The structure is very important, and the retreat is poised as the turning point in the novel's theme of belonging. Palacio does this by using setting and imagery to show Augie's integration into a part of society.
This scene focused on intergroup hierarchy. On Augie's side, Amos is seen on the top due to his physique and apparent strength. On the 7th grader's side, Eddie is seen on the top for the same reason, as well as being the instigator. Additionally, since there is no outside forces being present, aka no teachers, no camp workers, even no light, those who are lower in the hierarchy would look up to those higher for guidance and support. Speaking of power, viewing this scene through political science, we can see how power from representatives will go to their constituents. So, in this example, Amos and Eddie will be the representatives. Now, Amos decides to use his power in order to defend Augie and his friends, which can be seen as a representative doing good laws and signing good bills that will help out the economy, the state, and do things that the constituents want. However, going to Eddie's side, Eddie's only doing this for instigation and for humiliation, which might not be the case for the constituents, in this case, Eddie's squad. Thanks for watching!